Ding. Reward distribution in progress. Foundation period cultivator *3000, golden elixir cultivator *60, primordial infant cultivator *20, spirit transformation cultivator *10. Qin Xuan was originally a useless material, but unexpectedly activated the ancestral gift pack. Not only that, the ancestors around us all possess unique skills and unparalleled cultivation. At the trade fair, do you think I have fewer spiritual stones for the magical materials? Is it reasonable for me to exchange Old Ancestor with you? What? Bullying me without any backstage, do our ancestors come out to reason with him? Chapter 001. 10 Years of Waiting, Opening Ancestor Gift Pack. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Southern Heavenly Realm. Yenzhou. Qinjia Mountain Range. A young man splashed his feces on the spiritual grass, gently stroked by the breeze, his hair messy, revealing a green and astringent face. The young man's name is Qin Xuan. He was once attacked by a ruthless excavator on Blue Star, turning him into an indescribable object. After waking up, I traveled to this vast and boundless world. However, between this world, there are fairies that people yearn for, who possess magical powers, move clouds and rain, and move mountains and fill the sea. There are also terrifying monsters, fierce and bloodthirsty, which make people shiver. Not only that, Qin Xuan's background is also unusual. His father Qin Haotian and mother Tang Wan are legendary heavenly spiritual roots. At the age of only 30, he stepped into the golden core and is expected to cast a baby within 100 years. According to the past practice, Qin Xuan is a good model of the protagonist, with a sky-wide background and rocket starting the game. On that day, Qin Xuan couldn't help but express his sincere gratitude to the old driver from another world. Well ground. Thanks to the old driver for crushing him all the way, he bid farewell to mortgage, car loan, marriage loan, and lightning loan. And there is the cycle of hardship 996. However, it has completely changed since the system arrived. At that time, the system gave him 3 choices. 1. Claim a large gift package. 2. Make updates. 3. Shout the system 10 times. Dad Qin Xuan felt very safe and it was not too late to update first, but the result indicated that it would take 10 years to complete. He was dumbfounded on the spot. Even more outrageous is that at the age of 8, Qin Xiaoyao, the younger sister, was born with a mutated spirit-absorbing body. Looking at the porcelain doll like sheep fat and jade paste, Qin Xuan couldn't help but kiss it. As a result, he was almost sucked into a corpse by his old sister, causing his spiritual roots to be completely destroyed and he became an undisputed mortal. Even if he sought convenience, there was no medicine to cure him in the world. A good start, so rotten that it's a great shame. Therefore, Qin Haotian and Tang Wan went crazy to continue planting, giving birth to many younger brothers and sisters over the years, each with a strong head and horns. And he was completely abandoned by his family and discriminated against. After all, strength is the top priority here, and the family will not exhaust their efforts for an ordinary person. In Tang Wan's original words, "I don't have such a kind of heart." Think about it, the scene of my son calling out to his mother with a weathered accent in 100 years is simply unbearable to look straight at. This incident caused him a great psychological shadow. In short, Qin Xuan had no choice but to pick big feces for miscellaneous beasts on the periphery and also take care of some spiritual herbs. However, starting today, the gears of fate will undergo a dramatic change. Qin Xuan has been looking forward to it for 10 years, and today is the final deadline. As a member of the Grand Crossing Army, how can we embarrass our ancestors? Dog system, please wake up quickly. Qin Xuan, full of excitement, spread his arms towards the sky. Ding! The strongest back-end system update is complete. Ding! Reward the host world with a luxurious cultivator gift pack. Task 1. Recast spirit root, with a deadline of 10 years. If the task fails, the system will permanently fail. Completing the task will earn you a mysterious special gift. Sleeping trough. You finally have the willingness to come. Qin Xuan's gaze was filled with tears. It's been 10 years now, and the dog system has quickly helped me increase my level, cultivation, and physique. Various empresses can come up with 1 or 8 billion. Ding. Stupid host, I'll fill it all up for you. Why do you still need my presence? System, are you polite? I've been waiting for 10 years. Ding. You're only 10 years old. There's an old man on my end who malfunctioned and made the host wait for 100,000 years, a whole 100,000 years. After it was repaired, the grave grass of that product would be 300 meters high. Why didn't you give me some rewards before? What if I died? Ding. Who made you not call me daddy 10 times back then? Ding. However, please rest assured, as long as you are willing to put in a little effort, there will eventually be a brilliant day. Get lost, quickly open my big gift pack. Ding. Reward distribution in progress. Foundation period cultivator *3000, golden elixir cultivator *60, primordial infant cultivator *20, spirit transformation cultivator *10, prop. Heavenly Tao wheel, cooldown time of 30 days, cooling down in progress. Sleeping trough. Not bad. Qin Xuan looked at the little person on the screen with an incredulous expression on his face, the corners of his eyes jumping wildly, goosebumps rising all over his body, and his breathing becoming increasingly heavy. Yanzhou has a vast territory and abundant resources. There are countless sects, aristocratic families, and disciples under the sect. However, there are only a few Yuaning cultivators. The specific strength of the entire Tiannan region is divided into refining qi, building foundations, golden pills, elemental babies, and transforming gods. At each stage, the strength between cultivators is like a cloud of mud. For example, in the Qin family, there are 2 ancestors from the middle period of Yuanying, who were included in the 5 superpowers of the 3 sects, 2 clans, and the southern part of Yanzhou. The most mysterious one is none other than the cultivator during the transformation period, who has never shown any trace. In the southern heavenly realm, the deeds of cultivators who transform into gods are limited to rumors. After 10 years of travel, Qin Xuan has some information, but not much. Qin Xuan was secretly surprised. Undoubtedly the strongest back-end system. System, what kind of ghost was the Dowda wheel that day? Ding. Please dig on your own. What? Unfortunately, I am still a useless person. I cannot cultivate immortals and have no spiritual roots. Can I only pretend to be forced for 10 years? It's all Qin Xiaoyao's fault, this CS has caused me so much trouble. Thinking of that lovely face, he felt very frustrated in his heart. 10 years of defense for nothing. System, don't you think this task is too difficult for others? Qin Xuan asked helplessly. After all, the spiritual roots have been cut off, and the family has exhausted all means, even the Yuanying ancestor is powerless, and there is no hope for a path to immortality. Ding. Host, with so many bodyguards for you, just find 1 or 2 to guide you. Even a pig can insert its wings and soar. Yeah, Yuanying ancestor can't do it. Maybe this problem can be solved by transforming it into a divine ancestor. With hope, Qin Xuan's mind moved and he looked directly at the cultivator who transformed the spirit. The information about the cultivator presented in his mind was clear at a glance. In the end, the gaze locked on one person. The elixir Lu Qinyan is in the early stage of cultivating and transforming the spirit. Lu Qinyan is a talented alchemist who is proficient in the art of grass and wood, as well as the Ding furnace cultivation method. He can extract spiritual energy from heaven and earth, and refine countless miraculous elixirs that can bring people back to life, which is truly awe-inspiring. It looks like a wet nurse, not bad. Ding. Friendly reminder. Please cherish their lives. If they die, they cannot be resurrected. Don't worry, I won't let them die easily. Qin Xuan rubbed his hands tightly, thinking of the figure about to appear. This person was quickly summoned by him. Old man Lu Qinyan, pay respects to the young master. A grey-robed old man with white beard and jujube noodles appeared out of thin air, as if blending with heaven and earth, without any visible depth. With a hint of vegetation, he bowed to Qin Xuan. Senior Lu, there's no need for much courtesy. Qin Xuan flashed a hint of joy and quickly stepped forward to help an old man. He felt that the other person's life and death were almost within his grasp, and his heart was filled with joy. Although this person may not be the strongest at transforming spirits, he should be the most promising person to solve his own problems. Qin Xuan's humble actions made Lu Qinyan secretly breathe a sigh of relief. This person was able to control his own life and death, summon at will, and dare not offend. Senior Lu, you have profound medical knowledge. Let's see if you can help me recast my spiritual roots and fulfill my pursuit of immortality. Qin Xuan was excited and urgently expressed his inner desire. After all, as a cultivator in the period of transforming into a deity, one should still have the respect they deserve. Lu Qin raised his cigarette but slightly and said, well, since that's the case, then I'll be bold. If there's any offense, please forgive me, young master. As he spoke, he grabbed Qin Xuan's left hand and fixed his gaze on his dantian, as if trying to penetrate him. The spiritual pulse of the young master has been completely destroyed. According to common sense, there is no hope for the immortal path, but in my eyes, it is not impossible. However, the required materials and conditions are extremely strict, and the young master needs great opportunities to obtain them. Mr. Lu, please speak up. Lu Qinyan nodded and the corner of her mouth moved slightly, conveying her thoughts in a divine way. After a moment, Qin Xuan's mouth twitched. I quickly memorized dozens of materials in my mind, and not only that, I also need to search for some rare cauldron furnaces to use the double cultivation method for external intervention. In order to leave a deep impression on him, Lu Qinyan even had a specific visual sense. This is not something that ordinary cultivators can achieve. He is truly the alchemist of the transformation period. With this information, he can summon the ancestors around him to help collect materials. The lying flat cultivation style also feels quite good. Qin Xuan looked at Lu Qinyan with satisfaction, showing a chicken thief smile. The latter suddenly felt a chill in his spine. That young master, from 1800 miles away, there are cultivators from the late period of building foundations rushing towards this side. Upon hearing these words, Qin Xuan frowned. Usually, only disciples below the 6th level of qi refining would come here. Qin Xuan pondered alone. Is there anything big about to happen? Chapter 002. Senior Brother Lei, he is a great kind-hearted person. You are listening at novel full.audio. Half an hour later. A black shadow appeared on the horizon, stepping on a flying sword and weaving through the sky, with a pair of sharp eyes overlooking Qin Xuan. On the other hand, Lu Qinyan couldn't perceive it at all. Tomorrow afternoon, all disciples of the family should immediately go to the main vein of the golden tripod without any mistakes. This person stood tall and spoke in a cold and stern voice. Qin Xuan's heart was shaken, and all his disciples gathered. It had only happened 3 times in the past, and it had only been 800 years since the last one. Every assembly is related to the fate of the entire family. Based on this, the situation is somewhat unfavorable. Senior brother, can you tell me the specific situation? Qin Xuan asked loudly at the top of his throat. We'll know tomorrow. The person glanced at Qin Xuan again, sneered, and turned around to fly away. The next day. Chenshur. The sun rises. The melodious Hongzhong spread throughout the Xianling mountains of the Qin family. The elders of the main peaks of the Qin family, along with countless disciples, and tens of thousands of figures, like long rainbows, cut through the sky and flew towards the east. With the assistance of Lu Qinyan, Qin Xuan concealed his breath and quietly integrated into it. For the first time in 10 years, he returned to the main pulse. And Jindingshan, a square capable of accommodating tens of thousands of people, has now gathered countless young men and women, making an extraordinary noise. What exactly happened here? I don't know. Everyone was preoccupied, except for the informant who remained silent and had an extremely unpleasant expression. At the forefront, dozens of disciples with towering heads and proud faces are the most outstanding young generation of the Qin family. Facing the crowd were 7 powerful elder Jindan, including his father, with a solemn expression. Qin Xuan handed over his identity and destiny card to the guarding disciple, and then leaned against the position of the most peripheral miscellaneous disciple. Buzz. Firstly, a strong gust of wind struck, and an elderly figure appeared out of thin air above the golden cauldron. The grey robe was embroidered with various strange runes. The disciples on the square were excited and looked at them with admiration. Congratulations to Qin Laozu. Countless sounds echo in this space. This is Xuanhuan cultivator, it's okay. Qin Xuan looked at the figure towering in mid-air, no longer envious as before, only with endless emotions. The worker next to him looked crazy and said, "This is the first time I've seen the Xuanhuan ancestor. Even if I practice with him for a day, I would be willing to stand on my head and eat shit." Qin Xuan glanced sideways. "Your Excellency's desire to seek the way is truly admirable. That's why our cultivators who seek immortality should possess the spirit of exhausting their muscles and bones, starving their bodies and skin, feeling empty and weak, and daring to gnaw on feces. TSK those who practice are indeed those with firm willpower." Qin Xuan looked at the infatuated young worker and couldn't bear to say, "There are not many Xuanhuan cultivators. I have seen no less than 20 of them." The worker was taken aback. Qin Xuan was profound and unfathomable. "A cultivator who transformed into a god is a friend of my peers. Haha. They even have to call me young master. The worker's legs softened and he quickly covered his mouth. "Friend, are you being possessed by evil? Don't talk nonsense. You must be cautious in your words and actions, and some words cannot be spoken recklessly, otherwise it will lead to fatal consequences." Qin Xuan struggled to break free. "Taoist friend, how can you not believe it? Without saying anything else, we are like old friends at first sight. As long as you are willing to become a servant for me, I can let you meet a cultivator who transforms the spirit." Qin Xuan thought that he had been living quite lonely for the past 10 years, and it would be nice to have a like-minded partner around him. "You want to kill me, why don't you get lost? Taoist friend, don't you even want a big chance?" The result Qin Xuan was also preparing to take out Lu Qinyan to prove it, but the servant seemed to have seen a ghost and fled from the edge in fear. "This matter will take hundreds of years to come. A foundation-building monk often sighs, there used to be a great opportunity in front of me, but I didn't cherish it. If God could give me another chance, I would say to that young man, I will be your dog for 10,000 years. For a while." Qin Lai, the ancestor of the Qin family, stood with his hand down and slowly descended. All the elders and disciples bowed their heads and arched their hands again. "Quiet, the needle can be heard. Everyone, gather everyone, I believe you all know what this means." Qin Laozu restrained his breath and continued, "There has been a long-standing feud between the 3 sects and 2 tribes in the southern part of Yenzhou and the 6 sects in the eastern part. With the anxious momentum of both sides, the Dan family suddenly betrayed, and all the cultivators in the southern part suddenly fell into the disadvantageous position. As a result, our Qin family lost a Xuanhuan Laozu." "What? Number 34, this how could it be number 34, the Dan family is unreasonable. We fought against them." Everyone was filled with righteous indignation. with the majority falling into panic and their faces turning pale. Xuanhuan cultivator can move mountains and fill the sea, and easily float corpses for thousands of miles. Losing one is like breaking its foundation. No wonder there is only one Xuanhuan cultivator left in the Qin family, so the battle ahead must be a sea of corpses and blood. After this calamity, the status of the Qin family plummeted, and countless resources were handed over. Number 34, silence. Number 34, the loud voice of Qin Laozu once again spread throughout the square. I hereby order that, at the critical moment of the Qin family's survival, the Zhu clan will be relocated to the west from now on. Please listen to the orders of the following elders and disciples. Quickly, Qin Laozu decomposed the task, and the family elders below, as well as the core members, commanded in an orderly manner. After a busy morning, almost all the supplies of the Qin family were being emptied by their disciples. And Qin Xuan looked at one of the warehouses, standing bewildered. I thought to myself, if only I had a storage bag. A foundation building cultivator next to him noticed, frowned, and walked towards him. This Taoist friend looks a bit familiar, doesn't he? Do you know me, Qin Xuan? Qin Xuan replied politely. Oh, useless. It's actually you. I've heard a lot about you, no wonder I can't sense your magic fluctuations. My name is Qin Lei, you can call me Senior Brother Lei. Hello, Senior Brother Lei. Junior Brother, I see that you have a kind face, but there are some things I want to remind you of. Qin Lei intentionally talked, and it was surprising that a foundation-building cultivator could have an equal relationship with ordinary people, which also warmed Qin Xuan's heart. Oh. Senior Brother, please go ahead. This person looked around and finally silently whispered, to be honest, according to the news from my martial uncle, the migration is not that simple. There may be an ambush ahead, and you have no cultivation. It is likely that you will die prematurely halfway through. We are both Qin family children, and I can't bear it, brother. Ambush, I don't believe it. Qin Xuan frowned. After all, he is still a mortal with no magical fluctuations, so there is no need to worry. Junior Brother, don't think that ordinary people are not in any danger. It is said that the 6 eastern sects are evil cultivators, all of whom are unforgivable. They have always attacked and slaughtered a city, and wherever they passed, there were corpses everywhere, not even dogs. Qin Lei was exceptionally shrewd and saw through his ideas at a glance. My junior brother is so handsome that some disciples of the demonic realm have a fondness for the dragon son. Whether you are ordinary or not, they will use extremely cruel methods to break your heart. Ah. Qin Xuan looked surprised and said, it's so despicable that I don't even let go of the dog. Yes, my elder brother, every word is true and there is no exaggeration. When you meet my senior brother, I am a person with great blessings. I know there is a clear path to bypass the enemy's vision and successfully escape from Qinjiling. Qin Lei looked serious like a righteous person, and before Qin Xuan could refuse, he handed him a bracelet directly. Nah, junior brother, put on this wind-catching ring. It will help me know your location and also detect the surrounding situation. Please follow me. Immediately after, Qin Xuan was pulled and arranged among a group of disciples, while Qin Lei pointed to the huge floating treasure. Junior brother, this is done Tian Suo. We will leave the team early at that time. Please remember not to make it public. Senior brother, I will follow closely behind later. Qin Lei was careful and worked hard to arrange for Qin Xuan. He used his magic power to send Qin Lei a treasure, which greatly moved Qin Xuan, who was a mortal. Anyway, we will have to leave the Qin family sooner or later. Taking this opportunity to take a ride and enjoy the scenery along the way is also good. It would be great if I had met Senior Brother Lei 10 years earlier. Great kindness. Senior Brother Lei, you are one of the few living Lei Feng I have ever seen. Which Taoist friend is Lei Feng? A senior, Brother Lei treats me like this, and I will send him a great opportunity at that time. Well, without further ado, I have to go save other junior brothers, take care. There are more than 300 people on the Dun Tian Sua, the vast majority of whom are disciples of other surnames, and there are also some disciples of our own clan who have offended those who should not have offended, all of whom are in the Qi refining period. Qin Xuan sat on the edge of Dun Tian Sua, with an excited expression on his face. As the Dun Tian shuttle slowly rose, he saw senior Brother Lei waving from a distance below. Chapter 003 Demon Fairy Li Ruoxue. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Soon. Dun Tiansua smoothly shuttled through Qinjiling, while Qin Xuan looked around, his eyebrows filled with worries. It's been a long time now, why hasn't Brother Lei come yet? Did you lose your direction halfway through? Qin Xuan was puzzled in his heart. The expressions of other cultivators were all worried, with a heavy heart and no sense of joy in escaping from the sea of suffering. Qin Xuan thought to himself, who said that the heart of a practitioner is like ice and snow, heartless and unjust. It seems that the Qin family treats these disciples well, and they are all concerned about the safety of the family. Just as Qin Xuan was planning to enjoy the scenery along the way, a familiar figure passed by. Qin Xuan was overjoyed and quickly welcomed him. Senior brother, we have met again. It seems that you are also someone with great blessings. That person turned their head to take a look. It's you. This person is the worker who aspires to gnaw on feces this morning. I didn't expect to be so destined to be on the same road. Why did you board this decapitated thief ship? Senior brother, your words are a bit unlucky. What is a severed thief ship? Qin Xuan was somewhat puzzled and didn't quite understand the meaning behind his words. And the handyman gave him a smile that was uglier than a ghost and sneered, "Hey, you still feel good." The noise of the janitor was not loud, but it still caught the attention of other cultivators. My name is Tao Ji. It seems that you haven't realized the current situation yet. The ship we are embarking on is actually a dying ship. Although we seem to be evacuating, it is actually a bait for the 6 schools of demon cultivation. Tao Ji took off the bracelet with a bitter expression on his face. Moreover, this thing is not a detection tool at all, maybe it is a tool to lock the enemy's position. I waited until I got on the ship before I suddenly realized. Qin Xuan's mind was in a daze. How could this be possible? Fortunately, I still treat Lei Gu as Lei Feng. Take this statement seriously. I dare to swear to the heavens. How unreasonable. The cultivator was indeed full of cunning in his mind, and Qin Lei was quickly secretly recorded by him. Why don't you take advantage of the mermaid meat and flee now? Qin Xuan was puzzled. Tao Ji stopped and looked like he was waiting to die. It's not that simple. The shield shuttle has a built-in formation, autonomous driving, and cultivators below the foundation cannot leave. However, when subjected to external forces, it will also self-destruct. We are all dead horizontally and vertically. That's right, after we came up, we realized it was too late. If you don't believe it, you can take a look at the nearby edge, added a nearby cultivator. Qin Xuan approached the edge and reached out to touch something like a barrier. No wonder all the disciples on this magical vessel are during the Qi refining period, either miscellaneous workers or those with poor spiritual roots. I seem to have seen this plot somewhere before. Grass, so we're all cannon fodder, right? Yeah, give up struggling. I've already figured out the words. When I meet a demon cultivator later, I might as well kneel down and beg for mercy to have a good time. The cultivator beside me said with a bitter smile. Most people here have lost hope of survival, some of them have given up resistance and their eyes are filled with ashes. Some people silently sacrifice their magical tools, preparing for the final desperate battle. Only Qin Xuan secretly rejoiced. If it were the day before yesterday, I could only sit and wait for death. Now, 10 years in the East and 10 years in the West. I have a group of people to support myself, but unfortunately, my pockets are so poor that they clang. After all, for those who practice, spiritual stones and magical tools are indispensable when going out. Hee, wait for me to rob you. 1 hour later. Not good, there are pursuers coming over. The crowd on the treasure shuttle were shocked and turned pale. At a glance. In the rear, dense black shadows, wielding various magical weapons, covered the entire sky, dyeing the sky into brilliant colors. In less than 10 breaths, Baosua was tightly blocked in front and behind, and the air was filled with darkness everywhere, making the entire air suffocating. Qin Xuan's face turned slightly pale as he watched this posture, but he quickly calmed down. That's it, they're still here. Why don't we just compete with them? Taoist friend, you go ahead. Anyway, there's no way out. 10 deaths without life, I'll lie flat. Who can save me today? From now on, I will call him my own father. The frightened crowd was in chaos with every word you said. Everyone, I don't want to fall into their hands. I'll take a step first. A cultivator with 6 levels of Qi refining sacrificed his flying sword and hanged himself on the spot. He died very decisively, and soon a few people followed suit and made a decisive move. Number 34, fly legs are also meat, they cannot be wasted. Number 34, upon seeing this, Qin Xuan quickly went over to pick up the flying sword and casually picked up their storage bag. At the same time. Finally, there was movement coming from above. Everyone stopped their meaningless restlessness and waited for the enemy to be sentenced to death. Surprisingly, they are all small fish and shrimp. In the crowd, a plump female cultivator slowly walked out, with a veil covering her face and towering over her. Her long hair cascaded down her waist, and her pupils emitted a purple and eerie light, captivating her soul. The Qin family really has extraordinary means. This woman has an extremely beautiful appearance, reversing all sentient beings. Her cultivation in the middle stage of the golden elixir is rampant, and everyone behind her is respectful and quiet. Even Qin Xuan was captivated by her beauty and couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. TSK, it's so beautiful. It looks much better than those fake and expensive ones in my past life. If I could wear black silk on these legs, I could play for 10 years. No, it's a lifetime. Yes, unfortunately this long dress is a bit troublesome, but this figure is not much more, not much less. This is to ensure the smooth birth of a son. I really want to take her down as a concubine. Oh, my generation. Qin Xuan turned around in surprise and looked at the cultivator behind him, who had an old face like a chrysanthemum, lewd and calm. Old man, are you not afraid? In a daze, Qin Xuan had some doubts about whether this old man was some kind of superpower who deliberately concealed his cultivation and became an old six-year. The old monk's face remained unchanged, the corners of his mouth gently raised, very confident, and he kept smiling. Why not be afraid? At my age, I am still refining 3 layers of Qi. The path to immortality has long been hopeless, and life is almost at its end. Instead of seeking death, why not speak freely and say a few more words? Hush. Cultivators can listen to the wind to distinguish words, and the two of them are so brazenly commenting loudly on others. How dare you? The old and young are too bold, right? The cultivator next to them immediately cast a murderous gaze. We could have begged the other party for a happy death or sought a glimmer of hope by defecting to them. As a result, these two people's joking words directly blocked their way. Think about it, that's a demonic cultivator. It's rumored that demonic cultivators eat flesh and blood, and are unforgivable. If it falls into their hands, death will be a luxury. What's even more terrifying is that they may resort to soul pumping and soul refining, practicing some kind of magic technique that will prevent everyone here from rotating forever. But Qin Xuan still spoke without restraint, talking endlessly from old to young. Old people come here. My mother once said that when looking for a wife, you have to find someone with a big butt, which is easy to raise. It's better to be young, I really want to pick her up. The eyes of others wished they could scratch them both. It's really 2 stones in a pit, smelly and hard. However, some people also recognize that the one above is the demonic witch Ruoxue, known for her ruthlessness, and the male cultivator who fell into her hands did not end well. Chapter 004. Ancient Escaping Gold Talisman. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Puzzy. Soon the invisible barrier was as fragile as paper paste in Ruoxue's hand, and was instantly shattered. Losing the barrier, the remaining people have no resistance at all, trembling like chaff. Ruoxue sneered and dramatically looked down, her sexy lips curling up in a seductive curve. Several quick-eyed cultivators immediately raised their palms and patted their heavenly spirits upon seeing the situation. Everyone, let's take a step first. The methods of the demonic cultivators are cruel, and we must not fall into them. Qin Xuan's pupils suddenly shrank, and a single face could scare dozens of people into committing suicide. The rumor is indeed true. He quietly retreated a few meters and summoned Lu Qinyan at the fastest speed, making him hide beside him. With such a powerful and silent figure beside him, Qin Xuan was full of confidence. Just dying like this is too cheap for you. How about this? Those of you who want to survive can come forward and compete with the cultivators in my Blood Shadow Hall, and the winner will naturally have a chance to survive. Ruoxue, the demon girl of the Blood Shadow Hall, looked down with a smile, as if looking at a group of lambs. At this moment, a cultivator with 6 levels of qi refining bravely stepped forward. I'll do it. If I win, please don't break your promise, senior. Ruoxue remained silent. This person was extremely disdainful in her eyes. Jie Jie. The other party also walked out of a demon cultivator with 6 levels of qi refining, looking towards this side with a hint of sarcasm. This person belongs to the bottom-tier character, but the sorcerer cultivator has always been cruel, skilled in combat, and full of experience. Quickly, the two collided with each other, emitting a piercing metallic collision sound. There is a significant difference between the two in the same realm. The cultivators here cannot compare with the cultivators in the Blood Shadow Hall in terms of speed and skill. About less than 10 rounds. The light flashed by. Puff. The cultivator with 6 levels of qi refining died cruelly in the hands of the demon cultivator. Like killing a chicken, weak and weak. This person disregards the people below and is arrogant. This is also the reason why the 6 devil schools have been suppressing the southern cultivators to the death. After all, the demonic cultivators are decisive in their battles, and in the long run, they are more mentally resilient and have more means than ordinary cultivators. Who else is there? Except for trembling, no one dared to respond below. Beyond measure, these so-called righteous cultivators don't even have the courage to face off on their own. Wait a minute. A sudden sound sounded. Senior, it's your turn now. Our lives are at stake, and it's all up to you to save us. Everyone was taken aback. Where did the old senior come from? Under the surrounded gaze of the crowd, Qin Xuan pointed at an old man, who quickly became the most eye-catching person for everyone. Sleeping trough. This young man, is this to send me off early? Kid, are you joking? Don't talk nonsense. Do you have someone who respects the old and loves the young like you do? Dare to call me a senior, I only have 3 levels of qi refining. The old man widened his eyes and looked innocent. Still installed. Senior, among the people present, I think you are the most calm. You are clearly a master hidden in the dark, ready to turn the tide and eliminate the evil thieves in one fell swoop when we are in despair, and uphold justice. Stinky kid, who told you I'm a master? Aren't you also very calm? Old man, I only followed suit when I saw you calm down. But this doesn't prove that I am a peerless powerhouse. This seemingly harmless young man, despite having no cultivation, doesn't know why this guy is full of malicious intentions, which is disgusting. If the old man's gaze could kill someone, Qin Xuan would have died long ago like 8 petals. That girl, don't listen to this kid's nonsense. Just now, this kid said you have a big butt and are good at giving birth. Such a person who speaks without restraint should be skinned, and then hung in the sun and burned with flames. The old man blew his beard and stared angrily, with some incoherent words. Fart. Who was talking about this figure just now? It's not much, and I even wanted to be your concubine and cultivate with you. Qin Xuan danced and gestured, as if Ruoxue saw a pair of shameless hands swimming around her. Everyone knows that this kid is trying his best, clearly wanting to give the old man an early farewell. The old man couldn't bear it and grabbed Qin Xuan's collar, cursing loudly, "Kid, you just kept saying that black silk, suspenders, and long legs can play for a year. Old man, talk it over, make it over. Now we are the grasshoppers on the same boat, and your fearless appearance clearly shows that you are a senior expert." The two continued to argue and use various vulgar language through Ruoxue's physical body. However, with Qin Xuan's words, most people were half convinced, and there was a hint of hope in their eyes as they looked at the old man. "Senior, if you don't take action at this moment, how long will you wait?" Cao Ji also saw that the old man was 9 points calm, and one of his nervousness must have been faked. "I earnestly request the senior to take action to save us. We earnestly request the senior to take action." The old man trembled with anger and said, You guys, I'm really the third layer of Qi refining. No matter how he explains, no one believes it. Who made you look old and sophisticated? Who made you look calm and confident?" The old man's forehead turned black. "Destroy it, he won't live anymore." Suddenly, a sharp explosion came from the sky. Enough. Qin Xuan turned around and I went to your sister's haunted crying and howling, which startled me. This girl's loud voice is even more outrageous than Zhang Fei's. Ruoxue was suspended in mid-air, her face pale with anger, and 2 huge bowling balls were trembling wildly in the air. This is a grand generation of witches with a profound background. Even the Yuanian cultivator would have to show 3 points of respect upon seeing her. How could she have suffered such humiliation? Today I want to make all of you better off dying, starting with you, an old man. Just as Ruoxue was about to take action, the old man's beard trembled with fear and he quickly took a step forward. "Let me introduce myself first, let me do this," he said. "It's too late." The old man glared and quickly clasped his hands together. "You forced me, don't regret it when I reach the underworld." Suddenly, a powerful aura ravaged the entire venue. Around the old man, a dazzling golden light enveloped him, soaring into the clouds. The stirring wind and clouds surged, lightning and thunder roared, making it a Hollywood blockbuster. He is indeed an old 6. He tightly grasped this aura. This scene made Ruoxue, who was rushing in, quickly stop at her heels. "Don't move, I'm here to bully them." The old man carries his back with both hands, disdaining all directions and sacrificing himself for others. The Qin family's cannon fodder below hugged and wept with emotion. "Indeed, we are senior experts. We are saved." The situation seems to be on the other side of a reversal. Demon Fairy, Tianjizi, have come to learn. Before that, if you can accept my move, Golden Turtle Divine Palm, I will bind my hands and let you handle it. The old man nodded slightly, leaving behind Ruoxue's 45-degree slanted figure, with a proud expression as arrogant as possible. This is a peerless expert. Ruoxue and a group of demonic sons and grandchildren were completely intimidated by him, and some were unsure about the other party. Is this his strength? Why is there only 3 layers of gas refining? Impulsive, if this person dares to provoke me with vulgar words, they will definitely have some reliance. Li Ruoxue complained to herself. Her ancestors have said that some of the very young cultivators, who are very old, are great cultivators and especially like to play the role of pigs and eat tigers. When encountering such situations, one should judge the situation and not rashly invade. Qin Xuan also confirmed his inner view. Since ancient times, there has never been a simple old man with a white beard. Anyway, those novels and movies in his past life all said so. Why not wait for him to brush first? Lao Lu, remember to pick up the equipment on the ground later. Young master, that old kid is indeed a 3-layer alchemist. Qin Xuan was puzzled and said, then why is he all lightning and sparks? He's clearly a master. Young master, this is the ancient escape golden talisman. Qin Xuan heard Lu Qinyan's voice in his ear, while also asking in confusion. What is the ancient escape golden talisman? Lu Qinyan explained, the use of the ancient Dunjin talisman is a rare talisman that has long been lost and no one can refine it. It is very rare. Those who use this talisman can instantly travel thousands of miles after 20 breaths, and even cultivators who transform gods cannot catch up with it. I'll go, this old man is actually holding back his moves and preparing to leave. Chapter 005. Lao Lu Help Me Quickly. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. The longer the old man brews, the enemy becomes more nervous. As the momentum continues to climb, his figure stands tall and upright. His eyes were blazing with flames. His momentum soared into the sky. What a terrifying energy fluctuation. The senior wants to annihilate the opponent in one fell swoop. Taoists, are cultivators, we are willing to fight. I don't know which one shouted loudly and almost took off together. The old man suddenly let go of the chrysanthemums and said, fight a chicken feather, let's all retreat. Fortunately, everyone stopped in time. Nima, it's so close. I'm almost scared to pee. Fortunately, I had a chance encounter in my early years and found some escape gold talismans. I originally planned to pick up some magic weapons in the chaos after the two sides started fighting, but I didn't expect that damn kid to interfere and make me the target of criticism. The crowd looked at the old man, whose body was shrouded in golden light, and their spirits shook. They were eager to try out the magic weapon. However, something unexpected happened. Face the strong wind. The old man gestured arrogantly, and his figure disappeared in an instant. Everyone didn't even have time to see clearly with the naked eye. Li Ruoxue and others were frightened, quickly sacrificing their magic treasures in the strongest defensive posture, and dared not move. What's going on, senior? I guess it's a very strong body technique, and the senior probably has entered a speed that we cannot see clearly with the naked eye. Tao Yi patted his thigh and said, yes, yes. Look at them, they don't dare to move at all and don't breathe. Later on, these people will definitely bleed and their internal organs will fly around. Li Ruoxue and other demonic cultivators were both shocked and afraid. Who knew there were still people lurking tigers and hidden dragons among a group of ants? The old man brought them hope and made everyone's eyes firm. Some even looked at the other side with a look of pity and unbearable expression. Ha, devil thief, run for your life, be afraid, humble. Face the strong wind. The Qin family's cannon fodder showed an excited expression on their faces. Only Lu Qinyan and Qin Xuan, who were hiding on the side, knew that the old man had already run thousands of miles away. 1 breath. 2nd breath. 3 breaths. Quack. Until a group of crows flew by in the sky. Do you know what happened? Someone asked weakly. Everyone shook their heads. But some people tried to remain calm and said, look, in this world, the figure of the senior is everywhere and has formed a form of strangulation. They will surely be completely scared if they move. Let's not disturb the senior anymore. That's right, Senior. I'm afraid we have already reached the realm of unity between heaven and humanity. It's really terrifying. Senior brother, what you said is absolutely right. Let's not cause trouble anymore, let's leave the battlefield to our senior. Go ahead. At this moment, someone with a clear mind reacted and took the opportunity to leave. Unfortunately, just as I didn't go far, I was shattered into powder by a red light. How dare you tease me? I want to turn all of you into minced corpses. Ruoxue suppressed her anger and somehow made a big pot, as big as a basketball court. The informant saw this big pot with a pale face, capable of boiling 300 people. Mom, I don't want to cultivate immortality. I want to go home. Don't eat me. This pot is a magical tool for sacrificing and training corpse demons. It is said to be able to train cultivators into a special type of combat puppet. Everyone's hearts were filled with cries of despair. On the other hand, Qin Xuan's side was very calm. Young master, it's a great opportunity. I just used the technique of looking at Qi to observe this woman. She has a phoenix blood body and is an excellent double cultivation saint. If young master uses her to repair her spiritual roots and ensure twice the result with half the effort, there may be unexpected consequences afterwards. The voice of Lu Qinyan came from the ear. So awesome. Qin Xuan looked surprised. That's right, the most important thing is that she still retains her chastity and is a rare white lotus flower. Lu Qinyan looked at Qin Xuan with envy on her face. Qin Xuan's face couldn't help blushing when he remembered the scene from yesterday. The Ding Furnace double cultivation method requires unlocking various postures. Even Teacher Tsang is willing to be inferior in terms of professional level. There is no other way to repair the spiritual roots. Qin Xuan's eyes were firm. Old Lu, give me your magic and give me a chance to pretend to be coerced. I want to take her down. Lu Qinyan felt a bit embarrassed and said, Young master, at least you need to refine a layer of qi. You don't have any magic power, you can't even activate it. So, why can't I even use my skills? At the same moment, another voice came from Qin Xuan's ear. Ding. Host, I advise you not to pretend to be forced. Once you join, the entire script will probably have a big ending. Why not use free thugs? I really don't believe it anymore. Qin Xuan's eyes narrowed slightly. Lao Lu, use your magic to drag me up and protect me. I want to use love and beauty to influence her. As soon as Ruoxue made a move, she was slightly surprised in her heart. In front of her, an ordinary person without cultivation slowly rose up with the aura of a prince. It's really a cult. Where did this come from again? There is no cultivation at all, it's not over yet. Don't waste too much time, just slap it to death first. Everyone, stop now. Young Master Rongban, let me introduce myself first. My name is... Qin Xuan had both hands on his back, and before he could pretend to be forced, he almost ran out of his wits in the next second. Sleeping trough, Lao Lu. Help me quickly. With the help of Lu Qinyan's darkness, a beam of flames turned into a refreshing breeze and suddenly came to an end. Qin Xuan sat in mid-air in shock for a long time without regaining his senses. Everyone was shocked when they saw this situation. That was a blow from the golden core cultivator just now. This kid is actually unharmed. Could it be that the master showed mercy? It's not that he's interested in this handsome guy's appearance, is it? Ding. Host, if you don't insist on going to Liangshan, the system has long reminded the host not to pretend to be strong. You also said that I am the main character. Why do you have to let the supporting role pretend to force others to pass through the world without being invincible? I think you might as well pull my panel full and let me go out and kill people. Ding. Host, please calm down and call 3 times Daddy. I will make you the strongest king right away. Dad. 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 Jokingly, as long as the host works hard, the whole world will focus on you. Cheer up. Chow, are you playing with me in the system? Qin Xuan muttered to himself in mid-air, calling out to the air like a lunatic, leaving everyone present speechless. I don't believe in evil anymore. Can a mere ordinary person still block me and strike me casually? Li Ruoxue's gaze froze and he once again urged the Dharma technique. Shadow blood palm. A bright red palm print spread and enlarged, rushing towards Qin Xuan's small and pitiful figure, as if to completely tear him apart. This scene made everyone present tremble and take a deep breath. However, just as the palm print was about to touch Qin Xuan, it turned into an invisible cool breeze, blowing Qin Xuan's mouth wide open with a loud bang. How could Qin Xuan, a mortal, withstand the terrifying attack of the golden core cultivator? Everyone thinks it's unbelievable. Unless you have some amazing magic weapon on your body, it's too cult. It's not just a matter of looking at Qin Xuan's steady and old dog-like appearance, Tao Ji began to ponder in his heart. Is there really a senior deity transforming behind him? It's impossible, even if the sky collapses, but how can this be explained? It's really a ghost. At this moment, Li Ruoxue's angry eyes were about to burst into flames, and various supernatural powers were mercilessly greeting Qin Xuan. Under her constant attacks, Qin Xuan simply sat cross-legged, took out a pack of homemade spicy strips, and enjoyed it on his own. Bang! Boom! For a long time. Li Ruoxue bent down 1 meter away from Qin Xuan, her hands rubbing against her knees, revealing a snow-white scenery. I can't move it anymore. Chapter 006. One Blood. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Qin Xuan stood up calmly and said, if you have any other magical powers, just use them. If you can take off one of my hair, I will reward you with 10 packets of secret spicy strips when you come back. Go to hell. Upon hearing this, Li Ruoxue gritted her teeth, her face full of dissatisfaction, and her actions were even more unreserved. This scene is like naked AD crazily scraping at a tank filled with meat in an unknown situation. And the opponent, who was dressed in pure meat, twisted his buttocks and skillfully jumped up to Blue Star's subject 3. A mocking expression occasionally appeared at the corners of the mouth. Tao Ji. This kid, take the bamboo shoots. Our personnel said, although he is very handsome, I really want to swing my arm and cripple him. Lao Lu. I really want to take away my supernatural powers. What should I do? This kid is definitely a bastard. Anyway, I can't bear to look straight at you. Deeply abhorred. Li Ruoxue ultimately gave up the attack, except for the 2 giants surging in the air. Who the hell are you? Qin Xuan sneered coldly and said, when I was about to introduce myself, were you polite? You hit me hard without asking. Li Ruoxue held her breath and her expression returned to nature. You and that old and immortal have put in a lot of effort on your sister. Sister's body of desire is not something that ordinary men can fill, otherwise you will lose your life. After speaking, her gaze changed to a seductive tone, and her tone was like a venomous snake with hidden murders. TSK. This woman is not a good person, but unfortunately she met me. Qin Xuan thought to himself. Whether you die or not, it doesn't matter what you say. The key is that I have to reluctantly take away your blood, as I have no choice but to do so. Qin Xuan pounded his chest and feet, his expression bitter and extremely painful. Li Ruoxue was taken aback for a moment and gradually became cautious. What is one blood? It's a kind of martial arts that requires the coordination of male and female essence and blood to cultivate. I think only I can cultivate this unparalleled martial arts with you in this world. Li Ruoxue. Everyone. Number 34, Master, there is a person named Lao Lu by his side. It must be this guy who is causing trouble. Number 34, Ruoxue's expression changed, and her younger brother's words made her shudder. By connecting the scenes that just happened, she finally found the key. At the beginning, this guy was imposing, but then he fell into a state of panic until he called out the name Lao Lu and began to regain his composure. From beginning to end, her attack had no effect on this person. It seems that the existence of this old land has indeed played a crucial role. Ruoxue looked around with a guarded face, feeling a sense of horror in her heart. This person must be a Yuan cultivator. Kid, the Blood Shadow Hall, in conjunction with the other 5 sex cultivators, has already set up a trap for the heavens and earth, and there are even great cultivators from the later stage of the Yuanying period stationed there. No matter who the person behind you is, if you are wise, it's best not to interfere with our affairs. In front of Qin Xuan, this sentence was actually spoken to the people behind him. The underlying meaning is very clear: the demon holds an absolute advantage. No matter who you are or how capable you are, you cannot withstand their encirclement. Ruoxue smiled and waited for a reply. Qin Xuan frowned in place, feeling a sudden shock in his heart. Lao Lu, why are you so sharp? How should I pretend to be forced now? I suspect you did it on purpose. I'm sorry, young master. Maybe there was a problem at some point that leaked a hint of breath. I dare to swear to the heavens, it was definitely not intentional. But I have hidden my cultivation. Lu Qinyan was also very depressed, constantly blaming herself in her heart. Lao Lu, there are all kinds of wonders in the vast world. It's impossible for someone else to have a special magic weapon that can sense you. After thinking for a moment, Qin Xuan continued in his heart, what do you think is a safe way to take her down? Lu Qinyan said, why don't I use my magic to knock her out directly? No way. Qin Xuan immediately retorted. Although I, Qin Xuan, am not a gentleman, I am not a despicable person. What I want is her willingness. Old Lu, you must understand my good intentions. Young master, aren't you making things difficult for me? Lu Qinyan felt a bit aggrieved. He couldn't understand why Qin Xuan wanted to seek help from this old man to pursue a woman. Does he look like a lunar old man? Xiao Zhu, emotions are something that cannot be forced, and it requires time and sincere cultivation. We can start from another perspective, first dizzy and take it away, and then use emotions as a bond to help her solve some troubles and difficulties, so that she can feel our sincerity and warmth. Qin Xuan felt a bit inappropriate. 10 years are imminent. Especially for cultivators, 10 years is like a white horse passing by. To activate the spiritual root, both sides need to merge their own energy during the cultivation process to achieve a perfect balance between body and mind. Mutual understanding, support, and trust are essential. If 10 years pass, and the other party's heart remains like a stubborn stone, even with strength, even if one of them has a slight deviation, they cannot achieve the best effect. Is there any way for her to give herself up without hesitation? Qin Xuan's expression has been constantly changing. Sometimes frowning, sometimes helpless, gradually a lewd smile bloomed on his cheeks. Ruoxue immediately felt a chill when she saw this smile. Got it. Qin Xuan suddenly moved forward and the corner of his mouth curved slightly. Friend Dao, to be honest with you, I don't care about all the cultivators in the 6 sects, even all the cultivators in the entire land of Yanzhou. What are you saying? Ruoxue couldn't believe what her ears heard. You are an ordinary person who knows nothing about heaven and earth. If it weren't for someone behind you, I would have torn apart your mouth long ago. Since tying the knot, no one has ever spoken loudly in front of her, and today is the first time I have seen her. And he's just an ordinary person, it's just ridiculous. Are you lying? You'll soon know. I have a cultivation technique that requires 2 people to practice together. During the cultivation process, you must be by my side. It's worth trusting that this technique is beneficial and harmless, and can also help you improve your cultivation and transform into a baby as soon as possible. Qin Xuan is very serious. He didn't say much about the specifics. He wanted to make his intelligence dizzy and get the other party's agreement before moving forward step by step. Are you serious about what you say? Yuanying is the lifelong goal of all cultivators, and Ruoxue is no exception. Although she doesn't quite believe it, she can't help but confirm its authenticity. Qin Xuan smiled mysteriously, with a hint of cunning in his eyes. It's beneficial to you without any harm. This cultivation requires the power of your phoenix blood to activate my damaged spiritual pulse. Ruoxue exclaimed in surprise, "Why do you know my physique?" Qin Xuan chuckled lightly and said, "Don't worry about these things. As long as you agree to my request, I will reward you with a great opportunity." Immediately afterwards, Qin Xuan told her about repairing his own spiritual meridians and concealed the specific process of the cultivation. No one expected that at this moment, the tense two sides turned into a one-sided transaction. Ruoxue still couldn't believe that it was impossible to repair the destroyed spiritual meridian. Unless there is a cultivation in the period of alchemy to reduce dimensionality and seize possession, external forces cannot intervene. After hesitating for a moment, she finally gritted her teeth and whispered, "I don't believe what you're saying. If you can kill Shadow 9 days, I'll take on this deal. How about that? Jiutian, isn't it the ancestor of your blood Shadow Hall, the great cultivator of the late Yuaning period?" "It's him. Why? Are you afraid?" Qin Xuan's expression suddenly changed. The next second, his words were astonishing. "Lao Lu, it's time to meet everyone." Chapter 007. I apologize for being a teacher. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Upon hearing these words, Tao Ji and others trembled all over. I looked at Qin Xuan incredulously. In the moment when everyone was stunned. The sky is bright. The dim night was about to turn into daylight in an instant. Ruoxue's pupils involuntarily contracted and let out a cry of surprise. At the critical moment, a sound seemed to come from above the clouds. Old man Lu Qinyan pays respects to the young master. In an instant, everyone was suffocated. The 9 days and 10 places seemed to be imprisoned, silent and silent, leaving only the old voice echoing in the air. Everyone opened their mouths and then showed signs of shock. Just when thousands of people are paying attention. A restless feeling surged in my heart. Number 34, escape number 34, someone realized something was wrong and wanted to get up and run away. However, they were horrified to find that their bodies could not move, even their mana could not be mobilized. Soon everyone saw a dazzling white light before their eyes. That person's temperament is ethereal, like a fairy, like a god, and all living beings are ants in front of him. In a daze, everyone felt that every movement and stillness in this world was within the control of this person. Even the person's gaze can determine their life or death. Shua. The person appeared behind Qin Xuan in a moment, bowing slightly in a respectful posture. The scene was once incredibly quiet, and at this moment, everyone in the demon realm was like falling into an ice cellar. Tao Ji looked incredulously at the figure in white, tightly gripping his chest with his right hand, as if his heart had been pierced hard by a needle. It can't be true. Impossible. It must be a dream. Although he has seen the Qin family ancestor several times, he feels like a day and a place in front of this person. Number 34, I must be dreaming. Number 34, thinking of the conversation with Qin Xuan this afternoon, Tao Ji pulled out a small knife and fiercely stabbed his thigh. A piercing pain made him completely sober. Number 34, wrong opportunity. Number 34, he gritted his teeth in regret, his heart filled with endless regret and remorse. Ruoxue widened her eyes, as if she was in a cage of heaven and earth, her life in great danger. This person made her feel dead with just one glance. Can it be that he has reached the realm of heaven and earth communication? Even by his ancestor's side, he has never felt such pressure. Ruoxue thought to herself, is this encirclement a trap? She has an intuition that even the Shadow 9 old monsters may be unable to defeat this person. No matter how cold or proud she is, she cannot maintain her inner composure. He is an ordinary person, why did he do it? Why did he make a cultivator full of primordial infants respectful? Ruoxue tightly suppressed her restless thoughts. The whole situation is now beyond her. The final say. Taoist friend, wait and see if my subordinate is qualified to kill Shadow 9 days. Until Qin Xuan's voice rang out, Ruoxue finally came back to her senses in a daze and said, who is this senior? Dan Shi Lu Qinyan. Qin Xuan looked at her with a smile on his face. Immediately, Ruoxue turned her gaze to Lu Qinyan and bowed respectfully. Junior Ruoxue pays respects to Senior Lu. You don't need to be polite, Lu Qinyan smiled slightly, her clothes fluttering and detached from the world. Under my handsome face, can't you just take a second look? Qin Xuan muttered with some dissatisfaction. Ruoxue took a deep breath and felt extremely nervous in her heart. I dare to ask, I don't know what cultivation level senior is. As the words fell, others looked at Lu Qinyan in unison, curious. Thinking of Shadow 9 heavens, this person's life-saving methods are amazing, even Yuanying the Yuanman cultivator is very afraid. If she cannot kill Ling Jiutian, it will bring endless troubles for her, so she must understand Lu Qinyan's strength and methods. Lu Qinyan twisted her beard and smiled. My cultivation is the period of transforming my spirit. Once this statement is made, Ruoxue trembled all over, as if struck by lightning. The sound of gasping for breath kept coming and going, and everyone's faces were shocked. How could this be possible? How could there be cultivators in the period of transforming their spirits in Yanzhou? Oh my goodness, Master Huashen, I have never seen him before in my life. As the strongest cultivator in the southern part of Yanzhou, he also achieved great success in his infancy. At this moment, no one's mood can be calmed down. In no time, there will be traces of cultivators transforming gods in Yanzhou. I'm afraid various news will spread throughout the entire Tiannan region. Immediately afterwards, Qin Xuan's words left Ruoxue stunned. I just discussed with Lao Lu and asked him to accept you as his disciple. What do you think? It was originally mine. Tao Ji behind him rolled his eyes and almost fainted. Countless envious and jealous gazes were cast around, as if to bury Ruoxue on the spot. Senior, I didn't hear you wrong, did you? Are you really planning to take me as an apprentice? Ruoxue's voice trembled slightly, not even noticing Qin Xuan's wandering gaze on her. Lu Qinyan nodded and said, not bad, I'm afraid only I am qualified to be your master in this world. With a body of blood phoenix, you have a chance to awaken the phoenix divine body. Once you awaken the phoenix divine body, not to mention the small Yuanying realm, even if you break through the shattered void of transforming gods, it's not a problem. Phoenix divine body. Ruoxue had never heard of it before. This statement was not spoken by a spiritual cultivator, and she may not even believe it if she were killed. Being able to join the senior's name is a great blessing for a young woman, but she has a dull understanding and is afraid of insulting the senior's name. Little friend, don't worry. I promise you can successfully transform into a baby within a few weeks. Lu Qinyan was full of confidence and had no unnecessary changes. Qin Xuan's heart was filled with joy, as he imagined the scene conveyed by Lao Lu yesterday. He chuckled and looked extremely lewd. Who can refuse to accept disciples as cultivators? After bowing to the teacher, it's wonderful to bow again. Ruoxue really wants to agree, but on the contrary, she is not stupid either. After thinking about it, she herself is just a golden core cultivator. It must be some kind of transaction or request for a divine transformation cultivator to accept her disciple. The younger generation has 2 requirements. Please speak. The first request is to help me kill Ling Jiutian. At this point, Li Ruoxue's eyes turned cold and her tone carried a murderous intent. Many demon cultivators behind her were puzzled. Only a few insiders were extremely panicked. Okay. The second requirement is that after joining the sect of the senior, I hope the senior can ensure that the junior's dharma body, wisdom, and destiny are not invaded by evil. Is that all? It turned out that the delay in agreeing was due to fear of being used by others. Lu Qinyan was momentarily taken aback by the words and then smiled. You are indeed cautious, young friend. I appreciate it. Since that's the case, I will agree to your request. However, remember that you must prioritize loyalty and never betray your sect. Furthermore, cooperating with the young master to cultivate a skill will benefit both you and the young master. Li Ruoxue quickly bowed and spoke respectfully, Master is here, I will be worshipped by my disciple. Very good. It wasn't until both sides made a vow of the heavenly way that she breathed a heavy sigh of relief and was filled with excitement in her heart. Congratulations to Lao Lu for being a beloved disciple. It's not too late. Hurry up and pass on her martial arts skills. Qin Xuan has always been thinking about this matter, using Lao Lu as the hub to first recruit disciples and then take a wife. Young master, would this be a bit inappropriate? What's wrong with this? Let others observe the charm of the Supreme Avenue. Li Ruoxue is speechless. This kid is nothing but handsome. Why would the master lick a mortal? However, she still looked at Lu Qinyan with an expectant expression on her face. Alright, let go of your mind first. Lu Qinyan shook her head helplessly and focused her magic power on her fingers. Wait a moment. Qin Xuan reached out and stopped, remember to have a stronger visual sense, more profound details in the movements, and gradually magnify each move and try, making her feel the supreme charm of this technique. Also, it's important to use me as a template. Lu Qinyan blushed with sweat, her eyes hesitant to face Li Ruoxue. Li Ruoxue glanced gratefully at Qin Xuan, and it was said that the cultivator of transforming the spirit could achieve the ability to inherit martial arts 1.1. Damn it. Lu Qinyan's expression twitched slightly at the corners of her mouth. Unexpectedly, as soon as I transformed into a spiritual cultivator, I would have to deal with such trivial matters as the young master. Ruoxue, I am sorry for you. Chapter 008. Holy Desire Double Cultivation Method. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Ding. Host, I didn't expect you to be so evil. How could you still say, me, in the system? If it weren't for this broken task, why should I not be ashamed to take action? Ding. Host, you should be grateful to have met me, not Duozi Duofu. Its host, in order to complete Duozi's task, spends 3k times a day, but in the end, its clones are not enough, and it is reproducing almost every day. Hiss. Can there be such an operation? Why isn't that host me? Ding. Do you want to start evolution from maggots? Qin Xuan. At the moment when Qin Xuan and the system were talking impolitely, Li Ruoxue was completely dumbfounded. Is this the ultimate cultivation method? The following scene made it even more difficult for her to accept. Lu Qinyan has taken every frame and detail very seriously. The red silk tent captures the eye, and its fragrance is as fragrant as honey, intoxicating the heart. Surrounded by a scene of flowers, 2 perfect figures are reflected under the dim candlelight. Qin Xuan was strong and walked slowly, taking off his spacious coat. His 6 abdominal muscles emitted a crazy shiny shine. Li Ruoxue covered her body with thin gauze, and her graceful figure was completely natural. Facing Qin Xuan, she pushed him to the ground. As the flames around sank, The two figures engaged in a earth-shattering battle. Various exaggerated moves are difficult to speak of. There are simply a variety of tricks. Immersed in her consciousness, Ruoxue instinctively wanted to resist, but due to the intense visuals, she could only endure the heat and discomfort. How could there be such a cultivation method in the world, a combination of yin and yang, and mutual affinity between hearts? Ruoxue looked at the vivid scene before her in shock, her scalp tingling. But she deeply experienced the process of yin-yang complementarity and the evolution of the Tao from the picture. It is truly mysterious and marvelous. As a cultivator of the golden elixir, I have some experience and can see the mysteries at a glance. She couldn't help but think to herself, if I could cultivate in this way for a long time, my cultivation would only be twice the result with half the effort. Then she entered into that supreme and subtle feeling. Lao Lu is truly a professional. If he were on Blue Star, any island producer would have to bow down. Qin Xuan felt lost in thought, looking at her flushed face and ears, his heart was a bit restless. Lao Lu, things should not be delayed. If it's too late, things will change. Help me take this woman's blood. Lu Qinyan quickly stopped. Young master, this set of holy desire double cultivation method requires the collection of various materials, and I also need to personally guide and check every detail to ensure the safety and intimacy of both parties. In critical moments, one must remain naked and have a pure heart before proceeding. Otherwise, if there is a mistake, it is easy to become demonic. Qin Xuan pursed his lips and thought to himself that if you were to guard me, I would become even more obsessed. As the words fell, in order to make Ruoxue dependent on Qin Xuan, Lu Qinyan increased her efforts to release the film and at the same time used a magic spell to isolate the three figures. Qin Xuan extinguished the blazing flames in his eyes and said, although I'm doing it for myself, I also really want to help her, that's all. Lu Qinyan was taken aback, clearly because the young master wanted to crave someone else's body. In addition, the demonic cultivators and the Qin family servants dared not act recklessly because Lu Qinyan was here. As time passed, it wasn't until the night sky was filled with stars that the three figures could be revealed in front of everyone. The three of them only had slightly different expressions. Qin Xuan's gaze was erratic, as if nothing had happened. Ruoxue gritted her silver teeth and looked at Qin Xuan with a complex expression in her eyes. Humph, this kid is cheap. After completing the task, we won't have any further involvement with him, she said. However, Lu Qinyan was just a little unnatural and quickly shifted the conversation. Young master, how should these people be dealt with? As soon as these words were spoken, the faces of those present changed. Handing over all the magic treasures will save one's life. Qin Xuan sneered. In order to save his life, the 3,000 demon cultivators trembled and handed over their full body treasures. Upon seeing this, Lu Qinyan threw her big sleeve and took all the magic treasures and spirit stones into her bag. Although these treasures are not precious, there are at least tens of thousands of lower-grade spiritual stones that can be converted. For practitioners, spiritual stones are essential resources for cultivation. Qin Xuan flashed a hint of satisfaction as his gaze swept over the crowd. You can leave now. Upon hearing Qin Xuan's words, the 3,000 demon cultivators breathed a sigh of relief and hurriedly left the place. As for the miscellaneous workers of the Qin family, they did not make things difficult for them. After dispersing the crowd, only Tao Ji remained present with a firm gaze. Why haven't you left yet? Qin Xuan said. Tao Ji, whose body trembled and immediately showed a regretful expression. My dear father, I don't know the truth. Give me a chance. Before Qin Xuan could open his mouth, Tao Ji burst into tears and knelt down with a choked voice, saying, if my adoptive father doesn't give up, I would like to worship Senior Lu as his teacher. Qin Xuan looked disdainful and said, no, I don't have an adopted son who even eats shit. Is it wrong to eat shit to become stronger? If my adoptive father doesn't agree, I'll kneel until I die. Qin Xuan turned his back to Tao Ji and said, I can't be the master of this. Lao Lu, you can handle it as you please. Who made you turn your head back, refuse to take in oil and salt, and be indifferent to others? In short, the implication is for Lu Qinyan to make a decision. Lu Qinyan just casually glanced at him, frowning slightly. A year old, I have only reached the 3rd level of qi refining. My talent is really poor, and I can only build a foundation in this life. Upon hearing Lu Qinyan's evaluation, Tao Ji's face showed a look of despair, but he did not show any intention of giving up. Senior, I know my talent is limited, but I am willing to pursue a higher level with lifelong efforts. As long as you can give me some guidance, I am willing to give everything. Even if it's just eating. Stop it, Qin Xuan quickly stopped. Lao Lu, just give him some life-saving measures. Lu Qinyan nodded slightly, her fingers clasped together, and her expression was awe-inspiring. The spell containing terrifying energy from the 5 paths instantly penetrated Tao Ji's forehead. Tao Ji's eyes closed in shock. This is a magical power condensed from palm qi, with each technique breaking through the sky. As long as the mind moves, it will naturally burst into action, equivalent to a full blow from the Yuanying Great Perfection cultivator. If anyone in the entire Tiannan dares to bully this weakest cultivator, the entire sect will probably flow with blood. Let's go. Yes, young master. Lu Qinyan and the 2 of them flew into the sky and disappeared into the clouds. Almost 1,000 miles away between 2 breaths, Ruoxue was secretly shocked by the terrifying speed. Master, where are we going now? I will take you to retrieve the head of the person on the neck of the 9 heavens shadow. Lu Qinyan smiled slightly, very calm. Long time. The surroundings were pitch black, except for the chirping of insects and birds. After Tao Ji woke up, his whole body gradually changed, his fists clenched with a creaking sound, and his gaze was filled with murderous intent. Father, mother, and the villagers of Taojia village, the unfilial son Tao Ji finally has the strength to avenge you all. Remembering everything I just experienced is like a dream. The hatred that was squeezed in the chest finally exploded at this moment. I thought that once I joined a super family like the Qin family, as long as I practiced diligently, I would eventually be able to avenge my family. Unexpectedly, as we delved deeper, it turned out that the one who destroyed his family was a behemoth, even the Qin family was wary of it. At this moment, he is heading towards the direction of the Dan family. Chapter 009. Eating too much spicy noodles. You are listening at novel full.audio. De Co Lois Ara Trong Quatrin Lei Text. Chapter 010. Benefactor, surname He. You are listening at novel full.audio. To the southeast, thousands of miles away. The Tiandao sect and the Poison Dragon sect are engaged in a fierce battle. The flames of war spread for tens of miles, causing the world to lose its color. The most eye-catching thing about this place is the ancestors of both sides, both of whom have equal strength and are in the middle stage of the Yuanying era. Wherever it passed, the mountains collapsed, the river overturned, and terrifying energy ravaged the surroundings. Originally, it was just an internal conflict between the Dan family and the Qin family, but the Dan family colluded with the demonic Blood Shadow sect, resulting in the unfortunate death of Qin Xuan, the founder of the Qin family, and it evolved into a full-scale war between the south and the east. The overall situation is very unfavorable for the south. The ambition of the demon cultivators forced the other 3 major forces to provide support. These forces are Blood Shadow sect, Underworld sect, Red Scorpion sect, Demon Sound Palace, Poison Dragon sect, Dark Night Hall, and Dan family. Opposing them are the Dao Tian sect, the Hua Xing sect, the Yu Beast sect, and the Qin family. At the edge of the conflict between the 2 sides, a compassionate old monk slowly approached with 2 axes, like a holy lotus in slaughter, detached from the world. Why hasn't the young master arrived yet? Zabuto lifted his axe and gently wiped his forehead. When he saw the figures interlacing in mid-air, he was momentarily lost in thought. Number 34, I'll go. Where is this wild monk coming from? Number 34, number 34, perhaps he came to transcend all sentient beings. Number 34, you are sick. Who has ever seen a monk come over with an axe to transcend? It's obvious that they're here to chop people. Number 34, I am the most tired of monks. They often curse us demon cultivators for going to 18 levels of hell. Whether he comes to transcend or attack people, our demon cultivators will kill him. Number 34, several demonic cultivators looked down upon no one, thinking that this was just a compassionate monk with no cultivation, and decisively offered them magical tools. Number 34, Amitabha Buddha, Benefactor, your anger is too strong. Why not let the poor monk help you escape from the sea of suffering and ascend to the pure land early? Number 34, in an instant, a golden axe, wrapped in the force of wind and lightning, swept past at a speed that was difficult to capture with the naked eye. Not good. The pupils of several demon cultivators shrank, like falling into an ice cellar. Before they could escape, they instantly turned into a mist of blood, devoid of any pain. Zabuto acted quickly and no one could see clearly, causing the cultivators around to remain silent and shocked. Xuanhuan Ancestor. Judging from his aura, this is a great cultivator in the later stage of Xuanhuan, even stronger than his own ancestors. Everyone had a shocked expression, staring blankly at Jidwa. Well done, it must have been our ancestors who came to help us from the Great Vatican. This is the holy monk. Demon thieves, repent under the light of Buddha. The disciples of the Dao Tian sect exclaimed in surprise, no matter what, the monks and cultivators belong to the same lineage of the righteous path. Ji Budwa killed several demonic disciples, further solidifying the personnel of his own camp. Run away, Dao Tian sect has invited cultivators from the Great Fanzhou. The demonic disciples were frightened and immediately left this place. Great, with the presence of the holy monk, our Taoist heavenly sect will surely win. Holy monk, these are my few 2 inferior spirit stones, to offer to you. Damn it, your sister. You can also offer 2 inferior spirit stones and send beggars. Master, my mother said that I have been destined with Buddha since I was young, so I feel that you need a personal attendant by your side. Several disciples of the Dao Tian sect gathered around Zabuto with respectful expressions. Fortunately, you are still disciples of the Dao Tian sect. Although the senior is on the same front as me, don't forget your identity, everyone. A cultivator from the later stage of foundation building coldly glanced at a few people before joining another battle. Ji Budwa had a compassionate face, remained calm in the waves, and did not forget the task instructed by the young master. I dare to ask your surnames, benefactors. Master, my name is Zhu Tu. Little girl Lu Chan. I'm Xiao Zhang. The younger generation do Zidong. Surprisingly, there isn't a person with the surname Qin. Unfortunately, none of them are the ones that I want to protect. I have no choice but to send everyone to the Pure Land, said Ji Budwa with pity as he watched the group. Master, why is this? Zabuto swung his axe, its light flickering, and it slashed away from the unwilling and desperate gazes of several people. At the same time, the ancestor above frequently magnified and fought fiercely. On the other hand, with the addition of Ji Budwa, he constantly asked people's surnames, and those who couldn't answer were directly physical transcendents. The battlefield became chaotic, with chickens flying and dogs jumping. The disciples of Dao Tian sect and Poison Dragon sect fell into panic and despair. What is your surname, benefactor? Master, the younger generation's surname is Sure. Almsgiver, go to hell. Without hesitation, Zabuto swung his axe and swung it over. What is your surname, benefactor? Master. I don't know. One of them trembled and his eyes were filled with fear. Tell the poor monk quickly. Master, I've said it all and I really don't know. I've changed too many names in my life, and now I don't even know my surname. Why are you still clinging to me? Then, Benefactor, please rest assured and embark on your journey. I will recite the scriptures for you in the future. Regardless of whether he answers or not, Zebuduo shows no mercy in his actions, killing while setting up a magic formation and locking half of the people inside. All the sins have nothing to do with me. If the Buddha wants to blame me, then blame the young master. At this moment, the disciples of the Poison Dragon sect and the Heavenly Tao sect have stopped fighting. In order to survive, it is rare for disciples of the Tao Tian sect to unite with those of the Poison Dragon sect. Don't fight, Taoist friends. This demon monk doesn't speak of martial arts and kills anyone he sees. Moreover, our retreat has been locked. What should we do? Think of a way, said a disciple of the Tao Tian sect anxiously. Everyone looked at each other and fell into a passive state. They realized that only by uniting can there be a glimmer of vitality. Taoist friend, according to what I said, is there a possibility that thousands of us will explain each of the 100 surnames one by one, and there will always be one that is right, suggested a disciple of the Poison Dragon sect. I agree, may I ask who will come first, replied the disciple of Tao Tian sect. Then, whoever we catch will come. Everyone nodded in agreement. Next, we can only see who gets unlucky first. It was not until 70.8 people died before and after that a foundation-building disciple of the Poison Dragon sect was able to rest. What is your surname, Benefactor? The Master, the younger generation's surname is Qin and their name is Qin Xuan. After speaking, the disciple closed his eyes and everyone's gaze was fixed on him. Because no one knows whether it's their turn next second. Thanks to the Buddhas, there is finally a person named Qin. Zebuduo suddenly stopped his axe and looked at Qin Xuan with a slight smile. So, I got it right. This person opened his eyes and looked at Zebuduo with some confusion, feeling at a loss and unsure of what to do. Almsgiver, you are the person I want to protect. Come, follow behind me. Master, are you sure I am the person you need to protect? That's right, no one dares to touch your hair unless they step over the body of a poor monk. Qin Xuan seemed to be surrounded by a sense of happiness from disaster, his eyes slightly moist. He is a demon cultivator. He always harbors a grudge against righteous people. But the old monk in front of him today, for some reason, is so kind and friendly.